Hi there guys, how's it going? This is Matt Mod here, and welcome back to Prison Architect. And so today we're going to start a brand new series. We're going to start a brand new prison in Prison Architect. So last time we did the minimum security prison, and yeah, it was pretty good. But we're going to up the game a little bit here, and we're going to do a minimum security / normal security prison. We're going to try and attempt to play with some divisions and things like that. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to make it a female prison, obviously. So which, I think we had Rita last time as our warden. So let's go with the other one here, Safara. So get a small cut of the resale value of each piece of contraband. That's interesting. Small prison, fog of war, generate some forests. We'll take that out. We can generate some forests, gangs, events, weather, temperature. To be fair though, that's quite good actually. Yeah, let's go with failure conditions. Let's keep that in. So let's play. So as we said, we're going to be attempting a minimum / normal security prison. I'm going to go number per day 0 here. So we're just going to chill. And of course, you start with an actual positive cash flow at the start of the game, so you can sort of mess around and goof around a little bit and look at what's going on. So minimum / normal. So we're going to have to separate our zones here with our prison, because obviously you don't really want normal security running around with minimum security too much. It's not too bad with normal and minimum, but if you let, say, max security run around with normal, then things can get a little bit troublesome. Going to make massive use of this planning tool here. We're going to plan out a little bit of what we want to do. So firstly, I've been goofing around a little bit in my own time, and basically I've come up with a little bit of an idea in my head of what I would like to build here. And so I'm going to use the planning tool to sort of set out a little bit of what I want to do, and then from there we'll go. So firstly, we're going to try and find the middle of the map here. So it is 80 meters long. So if we go 40 meters there, and it's 100 meters in width, so we go 50 there. Right, so there is the middle of the map. Crap. Alright, this is around about there, isn't it? Yeah. Let's just double check. 50, yeah, there is the middle of the map. Right. So we are going to, that of course includes the road. It's a little bit off because you're including the road. It's not quite right, but we're going to do that. So this is the middle of the map here. And basically what I'm going to do is in the middle of the map, I'm going to whack in the reception. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would you put it in the middle of the map? Well, you will see how I'm going to develop this as we go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go one more here. Right, so we go sing, and so basically this box in the middle here is going to be the reception, and then we're going to build everything around the reception. So what I'm thinking is, right, so we don't really need that now. What I would like to do is something along these sorts of lines. Hang on a minute. No, that's right. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So if I do this, excellent. So this is going to be our office space here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's right. So we'll lay out something a little bit like this. And that's basically going to be our offices area, and we'll build a passageway around here like that, so you can walk around. So that's going to be where the offices are, and the only way into the offices is going to be through the reception. And so what we'll do is we'll have a pathway that extends across here. So I'll get rid of this middle bit. So this is basically going to be a massive entrance here. Massive sort of wall that walks around, and we can have several sort of doorways and things along here, and we can build stuff along this sort of stretch. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pick up the rooms here, and I'm actually going to move the deliveries and stuff across the road. So garbage doesn't have to be that big, and then we're going to put in our exports over here. I like to do the exports at the bottom here because then the truck gets to empty all its stuff there at the deliveries, pick up a little bit of garbage, and then pick up the exports on the way out. So let's do that. So that allows us to use the full stretch of the side of the road here. And then from here we can sort of do, well, we can open it up like that, and we can have a series of doorways coming in here, which is going to be pretty secure. And then so this is the point where we can separate people straight away. So what we can do is we can sort of say, well, once you get to the reception, you either go left or you go right. And so we can say, well, if you turn left, that's normal security, and if you turn right, that's minimum security. So we can do something like that. So what I'm going to do is have a door here and a door here. Although I might actually make it into a large doorway there. And let's extend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't need to be that big. I'm just going to grab the objects here. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. Like that. One of those. Maybe the way in. Bog. Whoops! This tool is so good. I love the planning tool. There's only going to be 6 people in there, so we should probably do that. And we're going to do the same on the other side eventually. Now, of course, there's going to be sort of a little bit of symmetry going on here, which is going to be quite interesting. So basically, this is going to be the reception, and this is going to be our initial holding cell, just this area in here. So what I can probably do is I can actually start constructing this. So let's get that built as a starter. And I'm going to put in 2 jail doors, one here and one here. That will allow a little bit of easy flow going in. And we can put as many jail doors as we want in there, because that'll be very, very hard in escape mode to get out of there, because there'll be so many doors to bust down. And who knows, we might put our security in here or something like that, or maybe the armory even. So, because we're going to have normal sec stuff here. So there's going to be some sort of mirroring going on here. So let's go, we'll run a pathway along the back there. We'll also run a pathway along the back there. Okay, there's our reception. Either that or we actually build our power units over here and we build the security somewhere else. Could be an interesting concept. And so, so what could we do here? So we're obviously going to build doorways there. So we'll have a corridor that runs up this way. What I'm thinking is running our cell blocks sort of along here. Right, I don't need that anymore. So you could have an open space here, like just a generic open space. And then we could say, well, so we could have a cell block that runs along there, and just have that running all the way along there, and then along this side as well. And then at the top here, we can build like canteen stuff and things. So if we built something like that, it's quite big. Yeah, let's do that. So that'll be like the canteen at the top there. So we try and put the canteen relatively centrally, so that people can congregate in one place, and so that they don't have to pile together. So this will be our cell block running along here, and we'll put another cell block, a mini cell block, sort of in here like that. And this will be our canteen space, and then we'll use the rest, and we'll say divide it up into little zones. Yeah, let's make that a tiny bit bigger, because there's going to be quite a lot of people in here. This is going to be the minimum security side though, so it's not going to matter too much. But then what we could do is have, wow, yeah, sure, a building like this, and we could divide it up into sections. So we could say, let's divide this up into 3. It's not actually accurate, but oh well. And we can do the same over here. So we could have a block that does that, and we could divide this up into maybe 2, or something like that. So we could build things like visitation, parole. In fact, we could do that over here. So we could turn that into 2 parole rooms very easily, or maybe even 3. So we could do parole rooms, or we could put in like a mini cleaning cupboard or something over there. And then we could have visitation over at the corner, big canteen, and then we could say chapel, classroom, laundry, and stuff like that over there. And then, of course, we'll have a separator over here, but we could do other things over here as well. Like, we could build other buildings in this particular area, and so we could divide that up into 2, and we could have some other bits and bobs over there as well that are easily accessible for people. And then this will be a cell block, and we'll put, yeah, that's going to be our power units and stuff like that over there. So, with that planned out then, so lock that open and lock that open for now. Let's get our power stuff set up. So, utilities, power station. No, there'll be a wall on the back there. So let's do that. Because obviously that's going to be a wall. So we can enclose the power and we can put a solitary door or something like that. So that we can don't have to worry about, or we can at least reduce the likelihood of somebody breaking in there. And then we can put our water pump, say there. And obviously we need to connect that up. And then we can run the power in like this. Should be okay. And we'll do the same with the water, but I'll do the water a little bit more differently, because if I run the water straight through here, then that's going to be a very easy escape route. So let's run the water across the top like that. And we'll run underneath this particular spot like that. Okay, so I'm hoping that you guys can see sort of where this is going. And how we're... So objects... Put in some large jail doors there, so that I don't have to worry about that. And then over this way... There we go, like that. So, now's going to be the time to take our grants. So again, like the previous prison, basic detention centre, administration centre are the 2 I'm going to take up front. Right, so the only downside about this is, of course, the workmen and things like that have to cross the road to get to the deliveries. And if we get any traffic problems over here, then that might be a bit of a nuisance, but it's not going to be the end of the world. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to build our holding cell. Like that. And objects, jail door there. And we'll preemptively get one in over there as well. So there's going to be 4 little jail doors all in this same sort of area here. But it means that guards don't have to walk very far to unlock them as well, which is very, very nice. I like that. We're going to have to build some extra materials here when they're finished there. Because those 2 pieces of wall are going to be wiped away. We can also do that. Now this extra bit over here is for a shower. So so if we go room, so holding cell is going to be here, because the holding cell has to be 5 by 5. So, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the whole thing to be the holding cell, because if I design this as a shower, I've got to put a door in there. And that's pretty annoying. So if I just set the whole thing to be a holding cell, is that going to fit in there? No, that's actually pretty annoying. So let's put a bench in there. So let's get rid of that. So these are just using objects. So I'm going to put in some bunk beds, actually. Is going to be a lot better. And a couple of toilets over there in the corner. And maybe a phone booth in the corner over there, just so they can phone families. Then we're going to put in drain. And we're going to have 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 shower heads for 6 people. Yeah, okay. Don't care. Don't care about that. Right, so planning. We can get rid of all of that now. No need to keep that there. Brilliant. And of course we need to put in our utilities. So that's why I ran the electric cable along there, was because it would automatically sort out the holding cell. There we go. Let's make sure we got our pipes in for our showers and things like that. So it's going to be a damn long way to walk to get to the canteen from the holding cell. See, it would be better to probably put the canteen over here. But then if I make this into a cell block, that's going to be a very long walk to get down there. And I don't really want to do that. So could put in something like a staff room at the end or something. I'm not entirely sure what to do with that yet. But we'll see. Could put in an extra building there, actually. Might be able to fit a couple of little security units in here. How big is that? See, if I did that and had these two as security units, then we could really make that very hard to get out of, which would be nice. Right, so once again, lock that open and lock that open. Now, of course, that's going to be another holding cell, but that'll be the holding cell for the normal security. So at this point then, oh, actually, I forgot to assign a yard. Actually a bit of a problem. So what we could do then is we could cut back on this. Now obviously, this cell block running all the way over to the road is not the most ideal in the world. So if I set some plans here, so if I do that and then have, well, that's perfect, I like that. Now I just need to make sure that it's properly aligned. What I'll probably end up doing is, because this cell block is so close to the road, just thinking about maybe assigning these last two bits to be solitary, because obviously people can't dig out of there as easy, so it might make that a little bit harder to get out of. So then that way what I can do is I can assign this entire area here to be a yard, or maybe at the very least that area. Now that is a very small yard for the number of people we have, so what we'll end up doing is we'll probably end up expanding out this way and building another one over this corner or something like that. That is probably likely to change. Don't think that's going to last. But let's go ahead and build the big foundation over here, which is obviously going to be where the kitchen is. The kitchen and canteen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, like that. So we'll assign that as our kitchen, and this can be the canteen area. So I'm just trying to make it easily accessible from different directions, as opposed to trying to funnel everybody through the same way. So if I build a door here and a door here, then everybody over this way will go in on the left side, and everybody over this way will go in on the right side. I'm just thinking that would be a better approach. And we have parole over here, visitation, yeah, chapel, classroom, laundry. Either that or I put visitation over this way. 2 parole. Yeah, see, there's loads of things we could do. There's a lot of things we could do with this. This is why I like. Oh, common room. Yes. So common room, classroom, chapel. Maybe we should do that over this way. I forgot about that. And of course, we will need to build sort of a nursery side, and we will need some family cells as well. So we'll have to assign that. Maybe I should actually make these into some family cells. Maybe those 3 should be family cells, and we'll put our parole down here. It's probably a better idea, actually. Much better idea. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so objects. We obviously need entrances to this place. So let's go door and door. So everybody over this side can go in that one, and everybody over this side can go in that one. That seems reasonable enough. I've got no complaints about that. Now, of course, we do need to bring all the electricity and utilities over here. So let's bring this into the middle, and then through that way. And yeah, we'll do the same here. So we'll bring the water up here along the yard, and then in this way, because we're going to have some sinks and things over here that we're going to need to connect up to the water. Oh, that's exactly even. I love that. And staff door there. Right, so let's let the workmen do some bits and bobs there. Tempted to hire a couple of extra workmen here. Just tempted. Whilst our cash flow is still okay. Still close to new inmates, of course. So we could obviously accept some inmates right now, but we haven't really barricaded this thing in yet. So temporarily, we might have to build a strange wall that does a loop there and get the administration center going. So there's going to be some odd walls temporarily, I think. Yeah, I'll keep that there for the moment, just so I can see where I'm moving around. That's again, I reiterate, that is a small yard for the amount of prisoners we're going to have in here. In the normal sec area, that could be quite dangerous. So I might have to think differently about the normal sec course. I have got symmetry in mind, because obviously if this layout works, then we'll probably want to do something very, very similar over in the normal sec area, but we'll maybe take a couple of extra precautions with like table layout in the canteen, things like that. Maybe give them a little bit more space. But I like the idea of having this gap here because it allows people to just move in and out as and when. I just feel that's a much better... we'll lock these two open as well for now, just to give the workmen full ability to run around here. Okay, so yeah, 246, that's okay. In the holding cell for normal, we might just have single beds as opposed to bunk beds, because that'll be... I mean, normal security is not as bad as you might think it is, but still, they can get pretty cranky pretty quickly, and of course, if they cause trouble and attack people, they can be upgraded to maximum security very quickly. And that's not fun. Get rid of those. Right, one little bit. There we go. There is the electrics all sorted. Okay, so objects. Actually, let's assign the rooms first. Now, there's an advantage to doing this. I've worked out. There's a huge advantage to assigning the rooms first here. If you go into objects and you zoom in like this, it recommends the items that you already need to put in there, which is brilliant. I've absolutely loved that. So let's put the serving tables over here. I'm actually going to put in some... It's a bit expensive early on, but I'm going to put in a couple of metal detectors. Pick up contraband. And let's do this. Perfect. There's a right number of gaps there. So where it's minimum security, I could probably cram in a little bit more than normal. In normal security, I'll probably leave some extra gaps between the tables here, so I might leave 2 spaces as opposed to 1. But that's all we need for the moment. I don't need to put anything else in there. So cooker, 3 should be okay. Fridge, and a couple of sinks, and of course we'll need to connect all this up to the power. So let's just do that, and I've got to remember where the hell the... Right, so it's there. And I think it's there. Nailed it! Ah. Right, so obviously now this holding cell will have the canteen accessible now. Now the only thing we just need to do is put in the yard and then secure this area in, and we should be able to take some prisoners on. I'll wait for these workers to sort out some of the utilities first. I won't give them too much to do too early on here. Just to save money, I could probably do that as well, because the electricity will come down here and connect to those. And preemptively, I know we're going to need one anyway. Let's put in another capacitor there. Try not to make the same mistake I did in the previous prison, where I accidentally built the capacitors too far out from the power station. Don't! Stupid. Yeah, so we'll assign these this little area over here to be family cells. Now, family cell, I think, requires 4x4. That's brilliant. I've got 4 tiles there. And what we'll probably end up doing is we'll pick up nursery, table bench, and I'll probably just assign this corner to be like a nursery. Because obviously we're going to get So we'll do that. Hill bench, yeah. So let's put in that over there. Actually, that's not very clever. There. I've got a capacitor being put in, so, and crib and playmat. So let's grab a crib over here, then 2 of those, and a couple of random playmats, sort of like that. That should be okay. We don't need too much over there as a nursery because we're only going to get maybe 2 or 3 babies, so that should be more than enough, I think. Because in the previous prison we built an entire nursery and we did not need it. So, okay, can I get this capacitor put in ASAP, please? There we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, and so once that's done, switch it back on. Really? Wow. Gonna put in 2 over there, I think, because that's approaching the top already. It's because the cookers and fridges use a lot of power, so doesn't have to actually be enclosed in. Yeah, so serving table, yeah, that's fine, not a problem there. Again, I'll make these top priority, so don't install the crib, install the capacitor instead. Okay, so crib and serving table, yes. Okay, so 2, yeah, that's good. Right. There we go, that stops a power outage. Right, so the last thing that we need to do before we accept prisoners is block all this in. So it's going to be a really weird block for the moment. Like that, of course, walls are going to be erased here. And then, shall I just do this? Might just be easier just to do that there. So that would be pretty much the basic detention centre. I guess I'll put the yard in. There's no real reason as to why not. So let's grab a yard. Put that in. And we'll go into planning and I'll get rid of the plan bit there. So again, we can put in some weights, benches and stuff. So let's put them in over this way. So 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be okay. And for the moment, I guess we only need maybe 2 phone booths. We can eventually put in some more, and then we'll put in some like televisions and stuff. TV. And the televisions do need to be connected up to the power, so we'll do that. And just for the sake of things, we'll put in some lights there, because it can be a little bit annoying. I don't like the guards running around with flashlights, and it's very frustrating, because I prefer them to have lights and things like that, but then this is outdoors, so... Right, so this is all now secure, so we could actually take on some prisoners. So we can go intake. We're not taking on any normal for the moment. We're just going to take minimum for now. We'll take all of them that are available. Yeah. And of course, this is... I didn't actually assign this, but this is the reception. There we go. Bam. Right, so we need 2 guards, 2 cooks, and an actual dedicated shower. Well, I think we'll hire the guards and the cooks. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode right here. So in the next episode, we're going to be taking on some prisoners, and we're going to be starting to manage actual prisoners here now. But that's it for now then. So thanks for watching. If you like Prison Architect, thank you for following this plan. Hopefully you guys see what I'm getting at here and where I'm going to be going with this prison. If you like it, please feel free to subscribe. And join me next time for more of myself, Matt Tomato, and I'll play through with Prison Architect and the minimum/normal security female prison. See you later, guys.